So let's review. So we have the zombies. They are successfully taking away health from our canvas. That's great. Um, However, we need to send an event once the game is over. And so to do that, what we'll do is on that canvas of ours, we're going to create another window that's just not going to be on, and it's going to be our game over screen. So let me go ahead and do a UI image. And this is going to be, go ahead and put these side by side so I can take a look at what I'm doing. So this is going to be a just a you are dead game over window. So I'm going to hit T and I'm going to increase the size like so. All right. And so this will be our death window. And beneath the death window, I'll just do a little bit of a text. Game over. All right, we'll go ahead and center that position. And we're going to go ahead and increase the text window, and we'll scale up that font like so. And then we'll do a go ahead and duplicate that text. So this will be our game over text. Oops. Game over texts. And this will be our restart message. So I'll go ahead and shrink this, pull it down. Like so. And we'll type in the message, press space to restart. Like so. All right. And so this is all that we're going to do. This is always going to be underneath our canvas. It's just going to be deactivated. So when we actually die, we're just going to shift this and we're going to enable this and we're going to turn this on. I think we'll need to do a couple more things because essentially the game will still be running and you'll still have control over the character. Of course, you want to kind of input lock the character at this point. So let's also try to do that at the same time. But for the time being, for the window anyway, what we want to do is we just want to turn that on when the time comes. So in this game Lost, let's go ahead and use an action. We use the get child. And it's going to be a child of this canvas. And the child's name is going to be death window. And we're going to store this as death window to enable. Like that. And then we just need to do an enable, or it's called activate game objects. The game object we want to activate is that variable, death window to enable. And we want to make sure recursive is checked because that'll also make sure that the text messages are also enabled. Okay, cool. So let's just go ahead and check to make sure that that works. I wonder if we can go to 0 because they're... Yes, okay. You can see though we're still raycasting, we're still making sounds. So, well, the only thing that's telling us that we're still playing the game, even though we're not, is that we're making those sounds. So what we can do, so because this is not a game object that's going to be spawning into the scene, we can actually directly control some of the attributes that are on other states that are also in the scene. So I'm going to lock this FSM on our canvas, and I want to control something that's on the FSM, our player FSM, and namely it's going to be the audio listener, and that's going to be the thing that's on our camera. So to control that, I'm just going to drag that component. I'm going to click and drag it to my action window, and I'm going to say set property. And the property that I want to deal with is the enabled property. I just want to turn this off. So we can't, well, this is turning off our ears. After this, we won't be able to hear anything. All right. And so I can put that at the bottom. So we're going to enable this window. We're going to turn off the sound, and we also need to allow the player to reset the game, right? Because we're giving him that message. So let's create another state, which will be our reset level. And the action that we're going to use in there is also going to be a reset or restart level. There it is. And so of course, to get to that, like we told the player, we want to use a get key down, and the key that we're getting is going to be that space. There it is. Okay. So once we hit space, we will send the finished message, and that'll take us into our reset level, which just goes and restarts what we had before. So we should have a almost complete game level. We at least have a fail state. All right, so I'm clicking. I'm not getting any sound. The game is still running in the background, but we've kind of maintained this illusion that we're locking the input. So, okay, we're in that last state. Let me go ahead and hit space. I restarted the game, and we're back where we started. So now we have a cyclical loop based on a fail state. So we can play the game. We just can't win the game as of yet. The last thing I'll do, because we're spawning way too many of those zombies, I'll go back under my zombie manager, click off of lock, and we're going to wait we're going to double that wait time. We're going to see if the game is possible to play like that. All right, so far so good. So this is much more manageable. Definitely sneaking in though. Okay, well, that reminds me, when the zombies get to their destination and they take off the health, they don't need to stick around. If we wanted to make the game more punishing, what we could do is we could set up an FSM that would repeat once they've done the damage, they send the damage event. We could do another event after this that would wait, and then we could restart the system after a second or two. So the zombie would always be deadly as long as they were still alive. We could do that, but I think that that would be a more punishing game. So instead of doing that, because the game is already a little bit challenging based on our spawn time, what we can do is we can simply just clear the zombie. We can kind of act like they're like suicide zombies. And once they've done their damage, they're just going to clear the scene, clear from the scene, so that they're not going to get in the way anymore. So what we want to do instead is we want to send another event. Instead of just sending the stockpile FSM, why don't we talk to the zombie itself, and why don't we send the no health event so that we can get this other stuff that is already happening. We can get the dead sound effect, as well as the destroy self object. So let's send this no health event. So let's go ahead and ensure that we can send it by making it a global event. So that's the no health. And now we'll go back to that attack trigger. And in that last state, we'll send another event. So this event, this is going to be the game object is going to be the parent. So actually we did need that information. So let me reattach a get parent. Enter, okay. There it is. So we do want to get the owner, and we do want to store that as the trigger parent. So the game object is going to be trigger parent, and the event that we want to send is no health. Okay, so let's give that a shot. So this is using an event that's already there to get the type of behavior that already exists in the death of the zombie. Okay, so sending the global event dead or get hit wasn't working. If we look at the zombie, the no health, for some reason, that wasn't being sent. So we can try something else. I'm gonna go ahead and create a new event in this. I'm gonna call this one die, and I'm gonna make sure that it's marked as a global event, and I'm gonna attach that global event to this dead state, but I'm gonna attach it using a global transition like that. So when I call this globally, we should get into the dead state. So let's go ahead and hook that up in the trigger. In the last action, we're gonna get the parent of the trigger, and we're gonna store that, and we're gonna look at that parent's FSMs, and we're gonna send the event die on that FSM. So let's go ahead and give that a shot. So what we should be seeing is that when the zombie runs into the cube here, it is now calling the die event, and it destroys the game object and it creates the sound effect. So that is working correctly now. All right, cool.